Yes.
All right, so we got you back on the line for a third. Well, actually, this is your second interview. So you want to respond to Brandon, who is your child's father,
Yes.
from the iconic group Jagged Edge. And you
Yes.
weren't happy about some of the things that he had to say after you and your daughter Amani came on my show to, I guess, I'm sorry. It's really emotional when I think about it. Basically, Amani just wanted her father to listen to her and treat her just like he treats his other children. She felt like he wasn't the dad that she wanted or still needs in her life. And that's where I thought we were going.
The dad that he just witnesses, that she witnesses him being today. So that's all it was. It was not ever a bash, as, some of the spectators noticed. And it wasn't. Anybody knows me. I'm just not one of those people. I'm just not going to go in on someone unless I have reasons. And, he had gone in on me, I guess, to people in the past, but
never publicly.
Right.
Okay.
But, okay, so I'm going to start it as this, to just make sure that the air is clear. Amani is 23. Brandon had his 43rd birthday on October the 13th. I had my 44th birthday October 22nd. So I'm not a couple of years older than him. I'm not even a year older than him. So let's just start there.
Okay, because he did say that you were a little older, a little bit savvier, and you had your hooks in him.
Right.
Okay.
So that's something that came from probably his mama, because what person says that a person has their hooks in him, in this day and age. But anyway, it's probably just something that was thrown in him.
Okay, before you go on, I do have to state this. What Brandon did was not official. I record and I want to tell you, I record all of my celebrity phone calls for notes. And because the phone call was so emotional, and I don't know Brandon like that. All I know is his music and from what you guys have told me. So when he was very emotional and he was trying to explain his side and how hurt he was over the interview that Amani and you did, I convinced him to let this go out if he did not want to do an official interview. And I promised him that I would try to do it in a way where it wouldn't come across as bashing you or Amani. But there were some things that were said in that conversation that you weren't happy about. And so that's what you want to address now.
Because it was another lie, and it was another pure bashing. Everything that he said was bashing. He never listened to the interview that Amani and I had with you before he reacted.
How do you know he didn't listen to the interview? I just have to ask. How do you know that he didn't listen to the interview?
Because when he first found out about it and he posted and he was trying to text Amani, he DM'd my sister, he DM'd my friend who was at the studio with us when we were recording, and he had conversations with them. I haven't talked to Brandon since Amani's birthday of last year, her most recent birthday, which was February 10th. Her birthday is February 9th. But that's when I reached out to him to tell him, like I said in the interview, I reached out to him to ask him why didn't he text her or call her for her birthday. That was our very last conversation. So it's been almost a year since I talked to him. So he didn't reach out to me at all once he heard that we had done the interview. So he reached out to my mom, he reached out to my sister, he reached out to my friend, and he was basically having conversations with them. Then he reached out to me and asked me, why did I let her embarrass herself like that? So he was like, that's my embarrassment. You let her embarrass herself. And then he went on and on and on. I don't deserve that and all of that. I could read you to the text messages, but I don't even want to go there.
Well, I want to say this. I want to interject right here because I know you got a lot to say. He did tell me that from what I was told by him is that Amani, when he spoke to Amani, and him and Amani spoke for like 4 hours after the interview. And he actually, and I'm trying to, I don't want to put words in his mouth because I don't want him to get upset thinking that I'm just making up shit. But he did tell me that Amani was the one that said, "Why did you let me embarrass myself like this?"
No, she said to him, "I'm the one who embarrassed myself." And the reason why she said that,
okay,
was because Amani had started reading the reviews that people were saying. And they started talking about her and calling her fat. And she was, that kind of made her emotional.
Okay.
And she started blaming him because she felt like this is what I had to resort to, is doing this interview. And now everybody is looking at me and talking about me. She, even though she still was receiving all of this positive feedback, she still was seeing some of the critical comments that was, hurting her feelings.
Okay.
So that's the reason why she reached out. And when he was texting her, he was texting her first, saying, "Little girl, you answer the phone, I'm your daddy. And if you don't this is my last time. And if you don't answer your phone, this is the last time I'll be done with you for good." He said the same thing to my sister. He was like, if Amani did this to me, then F her and all that. And I had to text messages to prove it, but he was saying, F her. I don't deserve this. F her, F Amani, and all this other stuff in the text messages between he and my sister, which I'm just finding this out today. So let me just go ahead and start off with this, to clear up everything.
Okay.
This whole story that he called you, this was something that I felt like he had to do, and he wanted to do, to try to do damage control and clear his name, because, of course, he screenshotted some things to me about somebody saying, they got their ticket money back. And he was like, "Do you think I deserve this? I worked so hard for this career, and you think I deserve for it to end like this? Amani done something terrible, and she needs to fix it, and she's the only one that can fix it, and she should want to." He even was trying to get Amani to tell, when she finally did decide to talk to him, he was trying to get her to call you back and tell you. He told her to call you back and say some good things about her daddy. That's what he said. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to go on. I'm going to move on. So, to clear up the whole thing about the whole Kandi thing, because I see that that's a big deal. I had a problem with Kandi holding my baby. No, I didn't have I had a problem with Kandi holding my baby in the beginning when I said I was bitter, because she smiled in my face. She used to come over, kick it, play cards, drink, all of that stuff. And she saw Brandon and I being together. And, she knew I was staying there. She was asking me even, when you going to let me keep the baby so y'all can go out? Things like that. And to me, that's a no-no. Because if I want to be with somebody, dude, I ain't finna go smiling in the girl face. I'm not going to have nothing to say to a period. And I'm definitely not going to be in the same area with her kicking it and doing all this other stuff. So that was my reason. But later on, as I left, and no, he never asked me to leave. I left because the time living in that house was a little bit unbearable for me. It wasn't just about his little females that was calling and all this other stuff. If we weren't together, could I have picked up the phone and had a dude come over and sit in his living room and watch a movie? If I wasn't with him, could I have had dudes calling there asking to speak to me? And we sleeping together in the same bed every day? I stayed there a couple of months. I was just coming for a visit. How the heck did I end up staying there for months? My mom had to send my clothes UPS, and I wasn't prepared. I had a suitcase for a week. I didn't have some months worth of clothes down here. I left my job. I left everything to stay. So if I uprooted me and my daughter from my whole support group or whatever at home and my comfortable life at home, why in the world would I want to come down here and deal with bull from him and his stuff? Like, he had just left a month prior to that. He had just left the whole little christening and refusing to leave and come back home. He stayed in my house, which I was living with my sister at the time in a condo. And he stayed at my sister's house. He and Cal stayed at my sister's house with us for some weeks before they went back home.
Okay.
All right.
So the photo that you sent me, and I don't mean to interject. I mean, I'm gonna let you continue on. I just kind of want people to be able to follow what you're saying. So basically, You're saying is when you did come down here, he asked you to come. You were coming for a week, and when you ended up staying a few months, and during these few months, he was still sleeping with you, and Kandi was trying to sleep with him, or was sleeping with him.
Right. I don't know if she was. I know he had said it when he was in Chicago for the christening that she liked him. But she had a boyfriend at the time. So I didn't know what to think. I was very confused. I didn't know what. Because he didn't communicate any of it with me. And he was saying, we was very clear on this, that, and the other. We even went to a party together, not Kandi, but me, Brandon, it was somebody's party. And we went to a party, and this was during the time I was there for some money. We went to a party. I'm dancing with a guy. And Kyle comes up to me and was like, Big Dog said, if you don't get this dude up out your face, he gonna come over here and we gonna be both, he gonna be both of y'all up or whatever. So it was like, come on now, you can do all of this stuff, but I can't do nothing. But you didn't never care about me. That's what he said, right? Okay.
He did say that you guys were never together, and he never cared about you like that. He only cared about a money.
I mean, like that. I used her. So okay, I'm gonna give him his little whatever he wants to say because
what he said was that he liked your shape, and because he used you for your shape, he feels that the baby was payback. Okay.
The baby wasn't payback. The baby was like, Tasha, oh my God.
I mean, he nutted in you. You weren't on birth control. You guys were both young. We know how babies are made.
All right. Okay. That's what I'm just saying. But even when he found out I was pregnant and all that, we were sitting on the phone talking about names and all this stuff. Like, come on, dude. Be real. I came down here during my pregnancy and, okay, fine, whatever. Brandon can tell whatever lies he wants to tell. But like I said, it starts out with him painting this picture to the world that he was a 17-year-old boy when he found out I was pregnant, and Amani is 23 years old, and he is 43. So get out of here. That's a lie. So he done told the same lie to so many people that he has, and it's been rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed to the point where he's starting to believe it. That's what I truly feel. So I'm going to.
So he was 19 when you became pregnant and had just turned 20.
And we met when he was 17, Tasha.
Okay.
So how was that? I had been down here several times.
So it wasn't just like this one summer.
Amani was conceived in Chicago. This wasn't just no one time hit it and quit it. He's lying. Okay, so whatever. Let me go. I'm going to continue on.
Okay.
Because I know we only got a limited amount of time and I got a whole lot to say.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Take your time. I'm sure the winos want to hear this shit. So go ahead.
All right. So, like I said, I voluntarily left. And when I left the house, it was probably like February of 96, right?
Okay.
Because I couldn't stay in the house longer than 2 months. There was other people staying there, other friends. Cal stayed there. They had a dude named Dan that stayed there. And it was like no room. I couldn't bathe my baby in the main bathroom because dudes had been in there. The tub was dirty. I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay.
This is not my normal living conditions. I was ready to go back home.
Okay.
I was gonna go home. The plan was that I was gonna go home and I was going to make some money so I can come back and get an apartment. But what happened was when I was there for Christmas, this is another thing that happened. When I was there for Christmas, it had this big Christmas party, and Jermaine came over, a couple of people came over, Kandi was over there and all this stuff. Brandon was like all up in Kandi's face and they, doing this, that, and the other. I was chilling with the other twin's girlfriend at the time. So she was, spilling the tea to me and telling me some things that was going on, different dynamics, So we were just chilling. The next day, I was kind of peeping, I just kind of sit back and observe. I'm not one of those people that really just chum up to people, even though I have a bubbly and funny personality. But if I feel like I'm a good judge of character. So I feel like, you know, if I feel something going on, I heard him mention that this girl liked him. So I was just watching body language and, you know, just kind of watching the whole situation the whole night. So I ended up going upstairs, taking, you know, me and my baby. I took my baby. We went upstairs. We went to bed. I wrapped ourselves in the cover so he wouldn't be able to come up later on at the night, you know, after the whole little party was over and be trying to touch on me and anything like that. So the next morning, he heard me get up, and I started packing up my little stuff, and I called my aunt, and I was like, I need you to come get me and take me to the airport. I was trying to leave the very next day. I wasn't trying to stick around for it. So we ended up into a physical altercation that particular day because he didn't want, you were supposed to be here for a week, well, you can leave, you can just leave a money. I'm not leaving my baby here with this foolishness going on. I'm going home, and I'm taking my child with me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I didn't come here for this. We could have stayed home. I left my family for Christmas to come down here to this bull. I don't want to get too, you know, crazy because and say some of the other things because they're a little X-rated, the stuff that I was seeing, and I don't want to even be, you know, saying certain things.
I mean, this is an uncensored show, so you can say whatever you want to say. Like, there's no... Yeah, I don't get in trouble. Yeah. Please.
Okay, so anyway, so I'm just saying, I saw bloody condoms on the floor. It was just, the house wasn't a house that I really wanted to keep my baby in.
And this was this the mom's house?
Yes. She wasn't even there half the time. She used to leave, go all out of town, go to Connecticut. She was a regional director, so she didn't have a everyday 9 to 5 that she had to attend to. She was just directing all these daycare centers. So she was, you know, she kind of was one of the ones that was the main one talking me into staying and saying that she would give me a job and, you know, talking about my college background and what field I was in, which was in the education field or whatever.
Okay.
So she was like, oh, I can give you a job or whatever. So
I remember you saying that, but let me get back to the party situation. So she would leave, right? And they would have parties. Kandi, Jermaine Dupri, everybody's there, and you.
No. The mama threw that party. That was a Christmas party that she threw.
And there were bloody condoms that you found.
Well, it was one. It wasn't multiple. It was one.
Okay. I was like, hold the hell up.
It was on the floor, and my baby at the time couldn't walk. So Tanya, this girl named Tanya, she was telling me about where it came from. So I was like livid. I was ready to go because supposedly it came from Brandon. It was in his room. Of course, Brandon said he told the story that it wasn't him. It was his cousin. So whatever, they all got some kind of stuff going on. The mama, you know, she was in and out of town. So basically, these young teens were in this house alone a lot. So you know that automatically you're gonna have chicks around and it's some things going on because young boys trying to be grown. Everybody was trying to be grown, including myself. I was not old. You know, I wasn't no old lady like everybody think I was. I was 11 and a half months older than him, so I was just as young as he was.
So let me get this straight. So she's a regional director. She has you in the house. The other twins' baby mama, y'all both got babies. The
twins' baby mama wasn't there. It was a girlfriend.
Oh Lord Jesus, this too much. Okay.
It was a girlfriend that I had gotten cool with, and she was telling me stuff. The other baby mama had some drama too. The other twin baby mama, they were having a little conflict too, but they just didn't get it serious because I guess she wasn't as combative with the mom as I was, because the mom, I felt like she would try to talk to me like she talked to her kids. And I felt like, hey, I'm a mother, and I don't know you, woman. You can't be talking to me like I'm your child. Your job is to be the grandmama to my child, not to be my mama or not to be disrespectful towards me. I'm just like he was from a two-parent home. I was from a two-parent home, too. I didn't know that. You know that this was going to be all dysfunctional like this. All I knew is that, most people, when they have babies, get together, they try to work it out, and they stay, stick around each other for the kids' sake. I didn't know it was going to go down like this, and clearly I was not a groupie. I met this boy when he was in high school. He wasn't even signed when Amani was born. He wasn't signed when I got pregnant. Yeah, he could sing, but how many people can sing out here? My child could sing. She ain't signed. Come on now. Like, I can't predict the future. I couldn't just say, oh, he gonna make it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have a baby by him. I didn't trap him. He is on whatever. I'm gonna keep on going. All right. So when I left, I voluntarily left because I was going to get my own place. Clearly, I did like being in Atlanta, but I didn't like being over there. So I went to Atlanta. Went back to Chicago, and I when I left, I discovered that I was pregnant again, basically.
By Brandon. Okay.
So now I have to make a decision. He and I talked about it, and we agreed. Brandon couldn't take care of the first one. Our baby was just turning 1. We didn't need another baby on the way already. So, of course, I terminated my pregnancy. I'm still trying to save money, though, trying to get back here by April, because I said I should be back by April. I'm going to go home a couple months and just save save up a few $1,000 so I can at least come back and move, and then I'll probably try to work in a salon or something here when I get back, because I couldn't do the whole kindergarten thing.
Okay.
Terminating my pregnancy, I'm working. The mom called, and she was like, you said you was going to be here, blah, blah, blah. You ain't nothing but a liar. You just trying to do blah. She just would say, just talk reckless to me. And I was like, this kid ain't nobody lying. I'm on my way. I'm coming back. I didn't come until like April 17th when I said I was going to be there on the 1st. She called me like the 2nd because I wasn't there on the 1st, and because was going off, and I had to blurt out that I didn't come because I just had to have an abortion. Damn, And so she started crying on the phone. My mama got on the phone, and she was like, I never would have encouraged her to do that, and this, that, and the other, right?
Okay.
She said my mama was telling her clearly it was a decision that both of them they made together.
So you told the mom when she was going off on you, trying to get you to come, like I couldn't come because I had another abortion. I was pregnant again.
Not another one. This is my first one.
Your first one. I'm sorry. You had an abortion after Amani's already born. So
right.
That
I was 20 years old. Like, come on. I didn't need 2 babies at 20. Barely needed 1 at 20.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to move into my own place. Ain't no way in the world I'm getting ready to move back here, and he's struggling and I'm struggling, and he don't have no money. He don't have a job. He don't have a car. So when I got back there, and my parents brought me down, they helped me move into my place or whatever. I just, Brandon, supposedly he was seeing Kandi at the time. I had heard that he was seeing her before while I was gone, and I was in the process of moving back, but he was trying to dance around him. He wasn't owning up to it.
Okay, and this was after the Christmas party when you saw him all in her face.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the following April, that next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like April of 96.
Okay.
So, all right. Okay. And so I moved back. He was with her. I think he had moved in with her by the time I got here. And so they ended up coming over like within the first couple of days. Brandon, his mama, I'm thinking maybe his dad, I can't remember, but I know definitely the mama and Brandon was over there. My dad had met his mom. They were meeting because my dad didn't come to the christening. So that was his first time meeting his parents.
And you sent me a picture of this christening, right? That's of you, and you were in white.
Me, him, and the baby.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Just so the viewers will know what this photo is. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and prior to that, he was fat shaming me then. You know, after I had the money, he was calling me, you know, like, you, while we was arguing about the whole Kandi thing, he was like, you lose some weight. You just, you know, she work out every day and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm like, look, I had a baby.
Wow.
She ain't got no baby. Like, you know, you all the way tripping, and that's who you want to be with, then go get you something. Because guess what? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be who I am at the end of the day. I ain't trying to be nobody else. So, long story. I'm trying to think where we are. So, he still was coming around. I still had a soft spot in my heart for him. So, I continue, you know, still messing with him or whatever, because some part of me felt like, hey, leave him alone. She gonna have him, you know, to herself. I'm gonna make sure, you know. So I did say that I was the bitter baby mama, and I was at that time. But it did not take me long. By the time, you know, we did, he did come over or whatever, and he brought, I want to say, when I said that she helped out or whatever, she wasn't just throwing cash my way. I'm saying she gave me maybe $100 or $250 check for him. That was really a gift to him. It wasn't like she put it in my hand. She wrote the check, gave it to him, and he gave it to me. It wasn't like she was like, here, me, take this and take care of your baby. But she knew that he didn't have no money, so she gave it to him. So it's same difference, you know. I knew that it was good intentions.
So you mean to tell me Kandi is already in escape at this time?
Yeah.
She's making money.
Yeah.
And then she enters into a relationship with someone who doesn't have a deal. And she spoke about this on an interview, and she talked about her allowing him and some other men to move in. And then after a while, she asked them to leave. So you mean to tell me, like, she's at the top of her career, and she literally moved in a man with no car, no money, and everything, and was paying money, was actually buying his love, but covering it up to make it seem like it's for you, but it's really for him.
I don't know as far as what covering what up, but I mean,
what I'm trying to say is, like,
we weren't friends at that time. We hadn't had any conversations like that. In my eyes, I couldn't stand her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like, you know, in my eyes, you took away the opportunity for my baby to have her mama and dad. You know what I'm saying? That's all I could see at that time. Because remember, he said it himself. I said we were going to try it out. That's what we were trying out. You know, we were in the period of trying to work things out and see if this was going to work or not. But Brandon was trying to chase a career, his fame. So when he found out that it was a celebrity female that kind of had some interest in him, and oh, by the way, she got some money. I don't. My baby mama ain't got no money while she down here because she don't have a clientele here. She ain't got no money down here. Like, she broke down here, you know. When she in Chicago, she got some money. But she ain't, when she's down here, she don't have nothing because this is a new environment for me. I have to build. So, opportunist. I'm going where the money at. And she could lead me to Jermaine. Brenda had dogged her out, had talked about her to me. So, of course, I'm bitter. I'm real, man. Like, you dogged her out. You called her all kind of names. And then you going to end up being with her? I uprooted my baby, took my baby away from her grandma, took myself away from my environment, my money, my job, like my friends, my whole support system, and moved here. And this is what you chasing. You know, I don't care what group she was in. But later on, after they had, you know, became an item and they were together, and after they broke up, she and I had a conversation. And that's when she revealed to me that he had run up her bills and left her. They had some kind of friends-to-friends pyramid thing going on, and she had purchased him a space, and they cashed out or whatever. He took his money and he left. And her phone bill was thousands of dollars and all of this other stuff. But we had a good conversation because she had a sister in Chicago who one of my nail clients was friends with. And so we were talking, and she mentioned, I said, I think I know somebody who knows your sister. And we had a conversation, and I was basically giving her some advice, telling her that the area that they from wasn't it was kind of poverty stricken. So you should probably reach out to that, to your little sister or whatever. I think it was her father's daughter or something like that. Okay. But anyway, she ended up calling me back saying that, thanks for the advice. I did reach out to her and blah, blah, blah. Now, I guess their relationship is going well or whatever, because we never talked about it anymore. Not that we were friends or anything like that.
Okay.
But so, that was done and over with at that point. She wasn't with him or whatever, and he had moved on to the next one. So in October of '96, I moved out because I found myself back working in kindercare, which his mama gave me another job. But this time, she separated my daughter. She put my daughter in the center where she was, where she really likes to be in all the time.
Okay.
But she sent me to her friend's center to work.
Okay. You did say that in the last interview. Okay.
Right. And so it was like she didn't want me around my child. And I don't know what the reason was, because maybe she just wanted money to herself, and she wanted to put a wedge between me and my child.
Okay.
I'm making $6.50 an hour. The job was 20, 30 minutes away from my house. I'm paying rent and bills off of $6.50 an hour, and she promised me that she was going to cover all of the money's expenses. Well, one day, I don't know, she decided, we were Brandon and I were still getting into it. She didn't like for us to get into it. She would always intervene and cuss me out, sometimes pick up the phone, prior to him moving in with Kandi when we were getting into it. We would be having a conversation, and this one, house phones was out. So she would be upstairs in her room and pick up the phone and eavesdrop on our conversation and start cussing me out in the middle of the conversation. I'm like, why did you get on the phone?
Oh, wow.
Why you in it? I didn't lay down and have no baby with you. And, the first time that I really kind of disrespected her, she was cussing me out. This was after the whole October thing, when I moved back home.
Okay.
She was mad because I had taken the money away and, moved back home. I couldn't afford it. It was times when she left out of town, I couldn't reach out. I didn't have no money for diapers. I didn't have no, money to have diapers. I'm like, I got to find some money. I got to call some of my family and try to get some money or whatever. You said you was going to cover all her expenses. How come when you went out of town, she didn't call me and ask me if her money was okay? She didn't ask me none of that stuff. So that's what I was dealing with. So I just finally threw my hands in the air and washed my hands in the situation. I'm about to go home because I know I could survive there. And it's too much of a struggle to be down here trying to kiss up to somebody to take care of my child when I got, I could take care of her myself.
Okay.
And I just need to be in the right vicinity and in the right place.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this, because he said in his impromptu response, because that wasn't an official interview, it was just a phone conversation that I convinced him to let me leak. He said that you took Amani away, and he didn't see her until she was 7. Okay. Of course, you're telling a different story, but we talked yesterday when you heard the impromptu private call, and you basically said for the entire 7 years, you guys were sleeping together.
Not the entire.
Okay, on and off.
On and off until she was 7. Our last encounter, she was 7. And that was when I moved here permanently. Okay. That was the very last time, but that was when she was 7 years old. After I had went back to Chicago, I stayed from October of '96, and I stayed there until April of 2002.
Okay.
And so when 2002, I moved back here permanently, and I've been here ever since. Okay. She was 7. So plenty of time for him to repair his so-called missed out on years of being a daddy with his child. So it wasn't no excuse. And that was all that I ever received were excuses. From then on, when I moved back, I was already into a 2-year relationship with my younger daughter's father.
Okay.
We were having some issues, but I moved here in '02, and I had already been in a relationship, and I was putting some space in between us. So when I had my second baby, Brandon was not even a factor. I told you he was with Latavia at that time, and I just felt like I don't even respect this whole little situation or whatever. Like I said, she was not 13 when they were messing around, but she was 13 when my child was born. And to me, I think that's the kid. You 19, she was 13. Okay. He said he didn't start messing with her until she was 17. He started talking to her when they were on tour. She was 16. He said he didn't touch her until she was 17. That's why I said that. So he was upset. I think yesterday he was texting me while I was listening to his interview. And I guess he was watching the interview, and he was like, wow, you called me a pedophile? Wow. And then I noticed that when I responded back to him, my text message wasn't blue anymore. So, that's the iPhone thing. When you send the messages from yourself, they be blue. But when I guess he had blocked me or something, so the messages were no longer blue. Okay. So I'm like, I don't know if he blocked or whatever, but we haven't texted since then. The last message, I don't know. I can go back to that, but let me go ahead and say what I gotta say before you have to go. Okay. So
it's a lot. It's like you're unwinding the last.
It is. I'm trying
23 years, and I'm like, girl, this is a lot. Okay.
He said, I'm not trying to bash Mimi or nothing like that, but that's absolutely what he did. After hearing Amani say, for whatever reason, my daddy always felt like it was okay to let people disrespect my mama. She clearly spoke about how she felt about that. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why somebody would disrespect your baby mama is because you have disrespected your baby mama. You probably talked about me in a negative way to all of your friends, which gave them no reason to have respect for me. That's why they felt like they could talk to me. And the reason why I didn't really have too much to say about, I didn't really talk to Latavia. And because I didn't warm up to her, I guess she didn't like me or whatever, and I didn't too much like her. So,
now, you told me something about Latavia yesterday, and my mouth just hit the floor. You said that Brandon called you at one time when they were in a relationship. Him and Latavia.
This was years. Okay, so when I moved back here, they was together, but they had broke up for a period of time. Okay. And then when I want to say Amani had to be a teenager, maybe about 14, 15 years old, they had got back together. Okay. And Brandon, it was at a time when, Brandon wasn't doing too well.
And this was after her reign with Destiny's Child, correct?
Oh, way after. Okay. Way after. Because even when they got together, I want to say during the time they were together, she got kicked out the group. Okay. And I don't know how true it is, but I heard it was because of them. But whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying what I heard.
It was because of Brandon?
Yeah, because I heard that they wasn't showing up for rehearsals and stuff because they was too busy trying to be all up in Brandon and Brian's face.
Well, I can believe that because I remember Beyonce, making a statement back then, and she was saying that they had some bad eggs in the group that didn't want to work as hard, and so she was happy that they were able to just get those toxic bad eggs out the group, and then they formed the three members. So yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just saying this is Beyonce's words. But go ahead.
But so far after all that I've covered, I heard him say that I was his mortal enemy, and that's what I really wanted to address. I'm your mortal enemy. Okay. And all of this history has happened. Okay. He was never with me. We sleeping together on a regular. I'm your mortal enemy. So that means that I'm like, yo, death. You wish death on me, basically, like death to the death. I'm your enemy to the death.
But I mean, yesterday you were saying that you were like, I don't understand why he's saying that we were mortal enemies, and this is the conversation that I was about to bring up to kind of bring that in. according to you, like, how could I be your mortal enemy and I put food in your house when you were with Latavia?
The food thing
okay.
came when Amani was 15. I had my third child by then.
Okay.
Then washed my hands of Brandon Casey and wanting to be with him. Does this sound like a bitter baby mama? I wasn't a bitter baby mama. After a certain period, maybe the first year or two of her life, maybe I was a bitter baby mama. But after that, I was smooth sailing. The only time that I bitched or complained was because I needed some money to take care of her, and he was trying to throw pennies and nickels at me while he took care of everybody else. He took care of everybody and everything before Amani. He even tried to tell me after our interview, in a conversation that we had, I screenshot our call log and I circled how long we were on the phone call. We were on the phone for 2 hours. I'm your mortal enemy, but you just was calling me, reaching out to me, begging me, please just talk to me. And that whole day, I'm trying to move. And I was just telling him, Brandon, let me, I'm just trying to talk to him and calm him down and talk to him. Brandon, you got to understand, Amani has feelings. He was going off. He was nice. He was mean. He was crying. And that's what Brandon does. That's been his pattern. He's been a crier. He's always been a crier. Every time we go head to head, we fighting and screaming at each other, and then, screaming our heads off at each other. And then he calmed down and he, started crying. I don't need this. I don't do this to y'all. And this, that. Brandon, quit playing victim. And that's all I wanted to say. The whole time I said, it's not about you. This is about her. You can't tell her she's wrong for feeling the way that she feels. But I want to address a couple more things while I got y'all.
Okay, I want you to address the food issue because you tried twice.
Okay. Yeah, I did, and we went to something else. Okay, so he called me, and this time we were arguing about some money or whatever. But he asked. I want to say that it ended up in a crime situation, and then he called back and was like, basically, can you help me out? Do you have some money? I was like, I don't have no money. And he was like, I don't have no food over here. There's no food over here. I don't got no money. My mom don't got no money. My mama ain't got nobody had no money.
Okay.
All these people that you took care of, not one person got no money.
And Amani's 15 at the time.
Amani about 15. Maybe she might have been a little younger, 14, 15.
And you weren't receiving any child support from him at all.
Not that month, probably. I don't think I received any that particular month. I don't know. But
okay.
I can't remember that far back.
Okay,
but
go ahead with the story.
That it was bad enough that he did not have any money, and he resorted to calling me, asking me, could I bring him some groceries?
Okay.
So, I did. So he mentioned something about some food stamps. Yeah, I was receiving them at that particular time. So, I took a little bit of food stamps, the little that I had left, and I went to the grocery store. And I took him, drove all the way out to his house. A mortal enemy drove out to your house and filled your refrigerator up so you wouldn't be out there starving. Why did I do it? Not because I wanted to be with him, because out his bedroom walked Latavia while I was there. The broad didn't speak.
Wait a minute. So when you're taking him food, Latavia walks out of the bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't speak. So clearly she was going to benefit off these groceries. So her broke ass couldn't buy no food either. And I'm sorry, but I just had to say that. I ain't come on here to start using all this profanity and all of this. But that's just what I'm saying. You didn't even have the courtesy to speak. And that's just why I never respected anything about her. But anyway, on to the next thing. Your mortal enemy. The whole world needs to hear it. His mortal enemy, baby mama, who was bitter, came to bring him food while he was broke. When his child was 15 years old, and still he hadn't had, or 14 or 15 years old, however old she was, and still had been reaching out to him, trying to get him to, get more involved in her life, and still included him, and been here since she was 7. I've been here since she was 7. At one point, We lived 10 minutes away from each other. Then he kind of branched out after they lost their house and, things went bad for them financially. Now, we live 10 minutes away from each other again. And I heard him also say something about me filing child abandonment. I filed child abandonment on him one time. I threatened to do it many times, especially when if you're not around, the least you can do, especially when you got it, is pay your child support. I told him I do not like calling. One of the things that I opted out of having my child support be put through the court system, because they were going to have to send it to Chicago, and Chicago was going to have to send it back to me in Georgia, or either I would have had to get it transferred to Georgia. So because I, didn't need to wait, I didn't want to wait for that process to happen because it was going to take a while, I opted for him to pay me directly. And that's the reason why he's not paying right now, because I opted for him to pay me directly instead of opting for him to put it in through the system.
Okay.
But it's still not touched. So anyway, okay, let me think. Well, where am I going with this? What's the last thing? I think it's so much.
I mean, basically, you just kind of want to address all of the things that he said about you.
Okay, so
and
the whole child abandonment, I told him I didn't want to deal with his mom.
Okay.
It was just too much. It was too much to deal with him. Plus, around the time when I filed the child abandonment, that's when I was walking Amani to school. That's the time frame that I was walking Amani to school in the 22-degree weather in the wintertime with my 4-month-old baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I told him, I said, get her some transportation. When he shut me down about getting her a van, a school van to come get her, or sending some transportation, or letting me drive one of the vehicles, and you sitting over there with all these vehicles in your car, all these people that you housing, and y'all having all these parties in the mansion, and all of this stuff is going on, and this is some serious real-life issue things going on. I said, okay, this is what's going on. I am going to, I'm going to sit back, and I'm going to see, since you put your mama in charge, I'm going to sit back because I'm not calling her no more. I don't want to deal with her because we just didn't get along.
Okay. She
would always say some things that would, just kind of tick me off, and I know me, so I just was like, I'm not dealing with her.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, let me sit back and just see how long it's going to take them to think about a minor. So I want to say they gave me a check in January. February went by. January is when I moved back. After I had my baby. It's like January of 2004.
Okay.
Because I kind of went to Chicago to have my baby, and then I came back because I maintained my apartment the whole time I was gone.
Okay, I remember you saying that in the last interview. Okay.
Right. So 6 months, and when I came back, I think she gave me my money in January. She did get my money in January. So February went by, March went by, April went by. My mom moved down here in April from Chicago. She retired, and when her retirement day, she was like, "I'm coming."
Okay.
I said, "Cool." So when my mom got here, I still hadn't been paid for 3 whole months. 3 whole months, no car, with this baby, with 2 babies now, and no child support. It wasn't because he didn't just get arrested right off. They send you a letter telling you to come to court. He wasn't on tour. He had been home. He might have did some shows here and there. What the problem is, Brandon has always been a little boy. Brandon had everybody doing everything for him, which is why, part of the reason why he still wasn't accepting any responsibility in the way Amani is dealing with life today. He didn't want to accept no type of. He wasn't owning his stuff. He's not accepting accountability for his absence. None of the time that y'all had that interview did I hear him say anything, but I wasn't there like I was supposed to. Then I heard you say, well, sometimes you got to make sacrifices so you can do some of the things when you wasn't on tour. You need to do some of the things that you should have been doing when you was on to it. He was like, I can't. Why can't you? Why can't you? You can. You didn't want to because you was too busy, and Amani couldn't do none of the stuff with them, like because she was a girl, and because you wanted to chase, mess with groupies and drink and smoke.
He wanted to chase ass. He wanted to chase ass.
Right. You wanted to do all this stuff, and you didn't want to. It was okay for y'all to do it in front of Brian's son, but it wasn't okay for y'all to do it in front of Amani. But it's whatever.
So let me ask you this, because I know that this is like 23 years worth of stuff, and you've said a lot, and I know you wanna go over every single detail, but you basically just debunked everything that he said. And I don't want this, cause, I mean, at the end of the day, this is a family. And I mean, I would be wrong not to.
No, it's not. It's not a family anymore. It's not, because at this point, I'm a mortal enemy. That's all I'm hearing. And that you drugged my name. You disrespected me to the degree that it can never, not when he can repair whatever he wants with the money, I will never interfere, as I have never. I always included him. I called him when I needed him, when she was going through puberty and her first boyfriend, when she was having issues at school, in middle school, with the teacher calling the kids niggas. I involved him in pretty much everything. I said, Brandon, show up. She's showing out. When she went to college and was getting drunk and passing out, I was like, Brandon, I need you to come through. All he did was get his butt on the phone and talk. All he was talk. While he was talking about he never hollered at her. Like, dude, sometimes as a parent, you need to raise your voice. You need to holler.
I remember
I'm telling him this.
And I told him that during the phone call. There was a lot that I cut out, you know what I'm saying? Because it was just too much stuff to put out there. But I did tell him that, kids, regardless if they're 21, 22, 23, it doesn't matter. Like, you still have to be firm. They're still growing. Like, I still get yelled at, and I'm 36 years old by my parents. You know what I'm saying? You never stop being a parent. And so what I want to see, I know you said that based off of what he said, you guys are mortal enemies, but do you think you guys will ever be able to come together?
Let me tell you this, Tasha, that's not my case. I don't hate him. Even after he drugged me, I'm just saying, I'll never forget it. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to forget. I'm going to always be a forgiving person. If it's done the right way, I'm going to always be a forgiving person. I wanted to, it's another one thing that I do want to address before we talk about that and we'll wrap it up. Okay. I want to say something about him and the whole picture. Another lie that he told. He said something about he didn't know Amani felt some kind of way about him not posting her picture. I sent you a screenshot of a text.
And I'm flashing those photos. I'm flashing those photos right now. So you did send me photos of Brandon and Amani, on various occasions.
Yeah. Okay. And then I also sent you a text message screenshot of me saying something to him about him working with OMG girls. And he put a picture of Zanique, which is Tiny's daughter, on his Instagram and sent a birthday shout out. Somebody that's in her whole, they're some months apart or within a year apart. That's somebody in her whole age group. After she expressed interest to him that she wanted to sing, you see your daddy working with some other teenage girls.
That sucks.
And posted a picture and posted a happy birthday picture on Instagram. And you said you didn't know she felt the kind of way I clicked. That was an old screenshot that I still got all this whole thread. And if I ever just printed them all out and show you, the only time I'm ever raising hell to him and making things hard was about money, but I never kept him. Like, the only thing that I ever complained about, if you're not going to be here physically, you should be spending the money. But no, it's 5 grandkids in total. And Amani got the worst treatment of them all. He said something about he wanted her to come. She didn't show up for Thanksgiving. How she going to show up and you ain't never sent her address? You never sent her the address. You said you moved out here to be closer to her. Well, his brother lived 2 doors away from him, or right, like a couple doors down the street. Did he move here to be with her down? They moved here because they liked the area and it was affordable for them or whatever. It was some houses that they could get that was close together. And money ain't had nothing to do with that whole little moving the Collier stuff. Y'all moving around. They've been moving around from place to place. Like, this is like his 3rd or 4th place since he lost his house. And Amani probably didn't show up because she thought that she had to drive all the way out to Duluth where he last stayed. And she never even had no address. He never said none of that. She didn't even
that kind of made me like raise my eyebrow. Like, so she didn't show up for Thanksgiving, but you still live in Conyers. Yeah, you still live in Conyers.
She came to me crying in August when she found out. Like, this dude, I know I got my own apartment. He said, and he know he lived in Conyers. She found out not from him. She found out from her grandfather. His dad told her when she called over there looking for him one day that he lived out in Conyers. She called me immediately crying, "Mama, this dude did it again." I'm always I'm always mad to find out everything. I'm mad to find out about his kids. I'm mad, like, both of those babies that he has outside of, after her, Amani didn't know about none of them until they were she found out about the little boy right before the baby shower. The grandmother mentioned the baby shower to her. And she found out about Bella when we went to this, we were invited they had this restaurant called the Red Shoe in Decatur. And it was his daddy's birthday. And we went to his dad's birthday party, and his daddy announced that he was a brand new grandfather of a little girl. Brandon had a little girl last night or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And Amani was like 12 or 13 at the time, and she just started crying immediately. Cal went outside trying to console her. Like, she was like, "How you gonna have another baby? You don't even come see me." This was her words. And they kept on saying, "Oh, that was her mama's fault. Her mama said that to her." This was her finding out for the first day. I had enough time to drill that into her head. The thing of it is, they never thought and they never looked at kids as being people with their own mind. Amani has been around here long enough to see the pattern, the excuses, the neglect, and she also had to see him. She had to witness him being a daddy to her siblings, and the kind of daddy that he never was to her. So I wouldn't want to go around either. That hurt. That's hurtful. So why would you want to go see him? Like he said, Bella comes in the summer. I sent the money down here for the summer. She wasn't with Brandon. She was with his mother, crying and begging me to come pick her up. I lived in Chicago, and I was sending her here. How did I keep her from them? With the one time that I didn't let her go, she begged my mama, "Please, Grandma, please don't let my mom come and get me. Tell my mama I don't want to go. Please." She was like, I don't want to be with her. Money would come home significantly smaller. They wouldn't let her eat. That's why I was saying to him, you always concerned about what she looked like, and you never concerned about finding out who she is. You saying all of this stuff over the phone, but you never have no type of involvement. But you still want to sit up here and point the finger at me about some stuff from 1995 to 96, because clearly in 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, I was gone out the picture. Like, I moved here in 2002. Amani was 7 years old. She is now 23 years old. You had from 7 to 23. You could have been repaired that whatever you thought was lost, because she loved her daddy the whole entire time. I always reached out. I always had an open door policy. I just wanted her to be happy. I always pushed her to go. And if I was such a bad person, one more, and this is a heavy hitter, one more thing I want to say. If I drove such a wedge between her and his family. I had something against her letting her be with his side of the family. How was she ever able to go to Alabama that time that Kandi went? How was she ever able to come down here for summers when I lived in Chicago and be with his mother? How was she able to go to his grandmother's funeral that none of the grandkids went to, and her own daddy and her own uncle didn't go to their own grandmother's funeral, but I made sure Amani was there. Miss Casey called me crying, telling me, "Thank you. You know, you the only one who sent your baby. That means you know the value of family." And she was like, "So I'm sorry for everything that I ever done to you," and then turned around and flipped on me about some other stuff about a year or two later, and we ain't been the same since. So if I was such a bad person and a mortal enemy, none of that stuff would have ever happened. I would have never pushed my child to go somewhere she didn't want to go. I was trying to force that relationship, not because of me, but for her, because I had my daddy. I still have my daddy. Regardless of whatever family issues we go through, I still value my family. I am a very family-oriented person. And Brandon, I'm saying this, I'm mad at him right now because he drugged my name through the mud, but I am a forgiving person. If he called and he do a public apology to me, I would most likely, try to repair something with him. But until then, till he own his stuff, I have nothing to say. He can sit over there and he can soak in his pity for the rest of his life. I am done. Until he gives me the due respect that I'm owed, I don't care nothing about none of that money. Every dime that the judge ordered him to pay, I deserved. I sat back and watched him develop his whole career, be this big person. You was a broke, sharing clothes, wearing clothes after dirty clothes with your friends and your brother. When I met you, you had nothing, and I did all of those things to try to be there for you. I wasn't buying him. It was just that we wasn't able to enjoy no type of outdoor time because he had no money. I did that out of the goodness of my heart, not because I wanted to buy him. I was just being the person who I am. If I want to go somewhere and somebody ain't got the money, I'm gonna treat. And that's just how it was. It's not being a sugar mama. He was broke. I liked him, not because of what he had, but because of who he was. We had a good time together. That's what it was. It wasn't about no sex. It wasn't about none of that. He could try to make it seem like it was. If he really wants to go there, I could bash all kind of ways, but I'm not going to do that because that's just not my character. Okay. I'm not that person.
Well, look, I know you've been going on right now for about an hour, 5 minutes, and 7 seconds, and
I'm done.
Okay,
I'm done.
But I do have to ask, because at the end of the day, this is about Amani, and I know you have the right to clear your name, which I wasn't going to allow that, to happen. Like if he's gonna, say some things, which, like I said, I have to put it out there. He did not want to do it. I convinced him to do it. And as a result, it kind of backfired. So I got to kind of take responsibility for that. And because
but it's good to see when a person shows you their true colors and they tell you who they are. They show you who they are. You believe them. And so I don't have to get on here and bash him and say all kind of negative things about him, because everybody, all the spectators out there, they saw it was something that was for him. I truly believe it was family members. I had one family member reach out and to me through Messenger and was like, "I just saw the video, not cool." And my response to her was like, "Girl, first of all, your opinion about it does not belong on my timeline." I was like, "You were there, you had your complaints and your comments that you made about them back in the day, and this was his own cousin." I said, "So what?" And I haven't heard from you in years. So really and truly, when I did that interview, I was not looking for anybody's approval or acceptance. I have no type of empathy for a grown man who caused the void in his child's life and now is looking to point the finger at somebody when he created that void and he did not care about his child emotionally. All he wanted to do was be that check in the mail dad. And this is still what he does. And today, guess what? He called her and he asked her, did she want a trainer? She said, I absolutely do want to train her. She never said she didn't want to lose weight. But why is that the first thing you call her asking her? If you really, if you really doing this genuinely, you call her asking her about a trainer, not a vocal trainer, but a physical trainer. Like, you trying to get her, you still on the weight. He's so hung up on that stuff. I'm done.
Let me ask you. I want to ask you a question, then we'll end this, okay?
Okay.
He said that he never said to Imani that she was fat. He said that he only said that to you. And
and Imani told you, right, in her own words.
Yeah.
I never coached Imani before then. The only thing that I did say to Imani was, don't go in there using profanity.
Okay.
Don't go in there, because I know that when she's mad, just like he blows up and he starts cussing, Imani is the same way. When we were on the phone, he was on the phone with my friend yesterday, or was it the day before? I can't even remember, because I'm so busy moving that, that's all I could focus on. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day. He didn't even know we were together, my friend Ronnie, that I brought to the studio. He was on the phone with her. He didn't know she was at my house helping me. And they were having a conversation, and he basically was, saying some of the same stuff he was saying on the interview. And so, but she knew the history, so she was calling them on everything. So when I heard that that's who she was talking to, and I heard some of the things that he was saying, I cut in. And I started saying all of this, and then he retracted some of the stuff that he was saying. And she was like, oh, you ain't tell me that, Brandon. You didn't tell me that, Brandon. So and then Imani mentioned something about going to a concert while she was in college. She went to a concert out in Macon, and there was somebody on the microphone on stage that was, kind of bringing them out. I guess he was a promoter or something.
Okay.
And he asked somebody, he was asking the audience people if they knew all the names of the members of Jagged Edge, and she raised her hand. He called on her. And she ran up to the stage, and he said, name them. He gave her the microphone. She named all of them, and he took the microphone back, and he was like, how you know? They came out when y'all was little or whatever. And she was like, cuz one of the twins is my daddy. And he was like, get the F out of here. They ain't got no grown kids.
Oh,
and
wow.
Said, everybody started laughing, like some of her homies from school that she had told, it's my daddy or whatever, humiliated her in front of the whole concert. And he was coming out on stage right as it happened, and he said he claimed right then and there he didn't hear the dude say that. He didn't hear. He said, I ain't hear nothing about this. I'm just finding out about this. I was just finding out about it too. And so,
so this happened. This happened at a concert that Imani. Oh my gosh! And I know you can hear the microphone. I know you can hear.
2013, 2014 school year. So it probably happened, but she went for a couple of years. So I don't know if it sometime between 2013, 14 school year to 2015.
How did she get into the concert? Did he give her a ticket?
He gave her ticket.
She should have been backstage. Like, she should have been backstage. Yeah.
He should have. And then while he was singing, he should have said something to her or acknowledged her while he was in the concert or pulled up on stage or something. Like, come on. Don't do me. Like, come on, that was ridiculous.
So why do you think he claimed to not know what was going on? Because I've hosted concerts before, and you can hear backstage, especially if they're introduced. You can hear what the host is saying, and so why do you think he? And I know you weren't there.
I wasn't there. I can't say why, but honestly, I can't really say why. But my feeling about it is that, like she said, she felt like he always been embarrassed about her weight. You know what I'm saying? So that's, to me, that's me. That's my opinion of it. But I never ever put that in her head. That was her. That was all her. Okay. Imani said this with her own mouth.
Well,
she said that to me several times before, and that's why I used to tell him, stop being like worried about all of that. That'll happen. Imani goes into, little time periods when she get motivated and she want to go to the gym. Come on, man, let's go. Let's go, go to Johnson Park. Let's go walk. Let's go to the gym. You know, it's okay. My baby is going to be fine. She's going to be fine. Every family had a set of differences. You know, everything ain't going to always be peaches and cream. But never in a million years did I think that my name would be drugged through. My mother, you know, has never ever said a bad word about Brandon. Like, she always pushed, even when I was saying bad words about Brandon, my mother always was very supportive. And to this day, and this morning, he even reached out to her and said, I'm not going to talk to Mimi and Tania, which is my sister, anymore. I can only talk to you and Amani from now on. My mom said, you know, when you speak about my child like that, and, you know, like, I ain't never did nothing to, you know, that hurts me. She was in the comments of the video I saw. She said, I'm, you know, Mimi's mother, and, you know, she basically, she voiced her frustrations. I ended up pinning the comment, and I just want to go ahead and end this because we have been on the phone for almost over an hour. I was just told that I had like 10 minutes to wrap it up because we only have so much film. But let me just say this too. My mama, the times the boys that were there, my mama has been there, very much supportive of Amani and both Brandon. Amani is driving around in a 2018 that Brandon should have probably bought, or Brandon and I should have bought. I couldn't afford it. So my mama sacrificed and traded in her car and downgraded her car so she can buy two 2018s for both her and Amani. So I commend my mama on that. I love my mama. My mama loves her some Amani. She even loves Brandon, but she is very hurt by the whole thing. And like I said, I never wanted to do the interview, but since it was out there, my child spoke to me and said the reason why she said I agreed to do it in the first place is because, and I even told Brandon that, is because she told me that she was cussing and going off about the concert. I said, stop cussing because you know, that's still your dad. And she was like, and I don't care. I said, if it wasn't for him, she was talking about, I hate him. I said, no, you don't. If it wasn't for him, you wouldn't be here, she said, and I wouldn't mind if I wasn't. To me, that's some real deep stuff, and that was suicidal type talk. So I just said, you know what, let her get this out because Amani clearly needs to. I know she needs counseling. I know that he needs is there a plan? And is there a plan in action? I know that you're in the middle of moving and things like that. Absolutely. Okay, so Amani's going to be getting some counseling as well as vocal coaching. Amani wants to go to counseling. Okay. Amani, she wants to. She's had some counseling before, but she's had it individually. She needs family counseling. Okay. And I'm open to it. And I even told her, I suggested it a long time ago, but you know, at this moment, it's very much needed. You know, It's not just a suggestion. She will be getting her some counseling. Okay. And I will be continuing to coach and encourage my child in every, you know, dimension of wellness. So, and for myself too, you know, we ain't nobody perfect. So, but I just want to go on here and do this interview. I thank you. I'm done with it, you know. No, thank you. I appreciate you coming on here to speak your truth and speak your piece. And I will be doing a follow-up with Amani alone, just to kind of see how she's doing. So I'm going to wait a little while because I know right now she's probably still emotional. I can't imagine what her and her dad are talking about now because I know when he called me, he was all the way on 1,000. And he said that they were talking for hours and then, you know, she don't know where to stand with him. And so I just kind of want to give it some time and then just, you know, give her some time to think about it. And then I'll bring her back on the show so that people can get an update on how things are going, not only with her and her career and her self-development, as well as her and her father. So thank you. I appreciate it. That's the point of it all. Thanks. All right. So I got to do my signature closing now. I got to go. Thank you, Mimi. Bye. Bye.